Hello everyone, Dino Boy here. So, I asked for topics on my Instagram. Not a lot of good came up. That's nothing against you guys. There were some good ones that can be crammed into a questions video later on, but no real topic that stood out to me that was like, oh, I could make an entire video on this. If you hear sirens, by the way, there are sirens outside my window like all the time. Sorry about that, but okay. So I figured I would just come up with something for this one, and I figured this would just be a video, or not even a video, audio that I post on YouTube of me just talking about my little space. What do I do in it? What things do I like in it? What things do I wish could change? What I could improve on? What's really good? All that jazz. So, here we go. So I'm going to start by just detailing what my little ages are. I am 5 years old, and that's kind of where it stays. I don't really, and I know this is like blasphemy in this community, but I'm not a big fan of pacifiers, not a big fan of that stuff, but I will rock the heck out of a onesie once I get one. My friends know that I'm not a big fan of buying myself things. It makes me sad to have to buy it myself, so one day I'll get that onesie. Someone will get it, and I'll be a very happy boy. But, tangent about onesies aside, I am 5. I figured that out kind of by just looking at my likes and being like, what do I like? What do I do? And what ages do those things kind of encapsulate? And I like to read, like storybooks, chapter books. I don't want to read no icky adult stuff. Screw that. You put an icky adult book in front of me and I will bite you. But you put like a Goosebumps chapter book in front of me and I'll give you a hug. So, no icky adult stuff. None of it. But, yeah, so I like to do that. I occasionally like to color, but it takes too much time. I love playing video games when little. I love that. I still use stuffies. I use stuffies like crazy. I have so many. I enjoy my toys. I have a lot of toys that I play with. Those are fun. And I enjoy dressing up. I enjoy getting, like, dolled up and all that. Like, if a friend, like, picks out an outfit for me, or a babysitter, or a mommy, like, ooh, just makes my heart flutter being told to put something on. I'm just like, yes, anything for you. So, that's a thing that I really like. My little space is more sort of, well, there's two ways that it comes about. And they're both sort of inducing. Either it's induced by stress and me needing to relieve that stress or that depression or something like that, or it's induced by extreme happiness or submissiveness. So it's, in both cases, it's induced by a strong emotion, which kind of makes sense on my end for what it is. It's either my escape, however you say that, my escape from whatever's happening, or it's my outlet to push what's happening more into my life if it's something good. So, what do I do when little? Well, I watch shows. I do that. That's fun. I will watch different cartoons, things like that. Blue's Clues, really good, but only the Steve episodes. I don't even remember that other guy's name, but he was icky. I will read stuff like comic books and Goosebumps. I know I'm repeating myself, by the way. It's just because I didn't divulge more into it, so now I'm getting deeper into it. I will read stuff, and normally I don't read for a while. I read maybe, say, like a chapter or so, unless it's like one of those silly, like, Captain Underpants chapters where it's like a 2-word chapter. Then obviously I have to read more because 2 words does not fulfill me. But The video games, I play a lot of Nintendo when little. I just want to be Mario and jump on stuff. Boing, 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 doot. That's me picking up a mushroom. Doodaloo. Boing, 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 boing. I'm boinging with my hand while looking at my Tanuki suit Mario. Boing, boing, boing. And then you get to the flagpole and it's like, whee, poof. And that's you sliding down. And yeah, I play a lot of that. That was a long tangent. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I like doing that. That's really fun. In terms of dress up, I normally dress up in quote-unquote women's clothing, although I don't like labeling clothing, because unless it's like something strictly for men or women, in terms of like biological body shape, like if it's a thong that has a slot to hold your penis, then yeah, label that as a dude's thing. But if it's a pair of pants that can cover me as well as they can cover a female, then why are we labeling that? Are we labeling it because of the colors on it? Yeah, cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's start labeling colors now. Blue is a boy's color. Like, stop that. Also, so that's kind of what I do in LITTLESPACE. I talked about already how it gets sort of brought upon. What do I look for in LITTLESPACE? My big thing is friends. I don't even have this giant urge to be like, I need a mommy, I need a dom. I don't really have that. I just want my friends. Like, I've got a really close friend named Kat, and she's really cool. She handles little me very well. We're around the same little age, but if I end up regressing any further, she also knows how to kind of handle that. Not really take care of it, because that's not her thing, but she knows how to handle it and just be like, just sort of keep me in line, I guess you would say. I have a few other little friends who, that's really big, like having a support system around my LITTLESPACE of people to just be like, hey, look at this cute thing, or, oh, you did so good. Like, that's really, really big for me, since I didn't have that when I was an actual child. So it feels different to have it now, and I love having it. Does anything else come into my LITTLESPACE? Oh, sometimes I'll combine, like, pet play with it, and that will be really fun. I'll be a little kitty cat, and that mostly consists of me scratching people, meowing, and just sort of rolling around and then taking a nap. And I don't nap often, so like for some reason when I go into kitty space, that's when my body is like, hey, we're gonna actually let you nap now. So it's really rare that I get into that space, but it's really a healthy, helpful space for me. I guess I would just sort of, to give a few bits of advice about LITTLESPACE, the things that I've seen my friends have trouble with. One, finding your little age. Honestly, just sort of compile the things you like and be like, at what age do babies and children usually use these things? And then you're either going to find one age or you're going to find like a range. It's not a giant complex thing to figure out what your little age is. It seems like a daunting task, but it really isn't. So I really do think that all of you guys out there, if you don't already have one, could easily find your little age. And I'm even willing to help you try and find it. Like, if you just want to DM me and be like, hey, I like this, this, and this, let's talk about it and sort of discuss some stuff, I'm 100% okay with that. I'm cool with any type of LITTLESPACE interaction because I don't get it that often. So if you just want to like hit me up for anything in terms of LITTLESPACE, I will be so down. Another piece of advice is I've seen a lot of littles be like, what do? I don't have a dom, I don't have a mommy, I don't have a daddy or a caregiver or whatever it is I'm looking for. What the heck do I do? And the answer there is you wait. You don't give up on your little space. Not in any way. You keep endorsing your little space in your own mind, and you wait. Because someday, somebody will come along that's like, oh, I like this little bean, this little girl or little boy or whatever, and be like, I want that one. And you're gonna agree, and you're gonna point at them and be like, I want that one. And you're both gonna go, holy crap, we agree. And then you're gonna be together, and it's gonna be glorious, and it's gonna be like a fairy tale ending. And I'm talking Disney fairy tale, not like Grimm's Brother fairy tales where everybody dies in the end. I'm talking happily ever after. The little found her daddy, the daddy found their little, or mommy, or caregiver, and boom, we're off to the races with happiness. None of that will ever happen if you give up. So when you're down, when you don't have a caregiver for a month, 2 months, a year, don't make that the only focus of your little space. Your little space is not, okay, this is going to sound crazy, or it might not, depending on where you are in your ideation of your little space. It is not for your dom. Your dom is a part of it. It is not for them. It's just not. It's for you. It's for you, it's for your heart, it's for your mind, it's for your well-being. So to put your little space as a dependency on someone else's plate, that is not what it should be used for. It should be used as something to enhance your life. In whatever way you may need it. If it's something to cheer you up. If it's something where you're already as happy as can be in life and it just adds a little cherry on top, then damn it, you go. You get that cherry on top. But do not take that cherry away. And I've seen so many people be like, I can't find a mommy or a daddy. I'm done. It's over. Over it. Like, that's not what little space is for. I know that in the end, every little who isn't an age regressor, which is different, let's state that clear cut, but is an actual DDLG CGL little, their goal is to get someone to take care of them. But that should not be your little space's only purpose. It's unhealthy to put such a vulnerable part of you into that mindset. The mindset that society already pushes of, you're nothing unless you find love. A happy ending in life is only a happy ending if you find love. There's no happy endings unless you get married and have a baby and do this and do that. To spread that ideology also to your little space is harmful. Now, if you already have a Tom, good on you. Love them, treat them right, make sure they treat you right. Boom, you have done something good. But if you don't have one, that is not a reason for you to give up. It's just not. And I'm saying this to any of my friends who may hear this. So, what else do I have to talk about? Another thing that I love in little space is blankies. I have this blue blankie that I just kind of hold sometimes. Holding things can be a big thing for me. Holding a blankie, a stuffy, literally anything. I just want something in my hands at most times. It could literally be holding my own feet and just being like, oh, those exist now. I've got toesies. But you never know what I might be holding. But I just like to be holding something. Another sort of topic that I wanted to briefly get into, that I will probably get into better in another full video, is how to embrace your littleness in times where you should not be little in a safe way. So things like, hey, it's acceptable for a 23-year-old adult to wear a bow in their hair. Nobody in the world has to know that you're wearing that bow because that little boy or little girl inside you is giddy at the fact of getting dressed up with a bow. It can just be a little accessory. Something even like having a stuffed animal tucked away in a purse or a backpack or a satchel even, or a pocket, or things like wearing overalls that can be seen as just normal, everyday items and not anything weird. Which, this is not me saying Little Space is weird, this is me saying society sees it as kind of weird, and that's just a issue that we have to fight through. But you can absolutely take your little space with you outside of the comfort of your own home. You just have to find sly, fun ways to do it. A way that I do it is I wear little hats and things like that, which have characters on them. So, I know that up there is some kind of character on my head that makes me feel small when I look at him or her or it or whatever it is. So I know that there's something there, and that's a thing that takes work. You have to figure out sometimes excuses when your friends are like, hey, why are you wearing overalls that are like pastel pink? You have to just tell them these are just what I like. And there's little things like that. So, because I know somebody in the questions asked about sort of obscuring your little space while still keeping it present while being in public. Another thing would be taking little books with you. Books that are still technically acceptable for a grown-up to read in public. Although I say, excuse my language, but fuck it. If you want to read a Dr. Seuss book in public, then gosh darn it, you sit down on that bench and you read that picture book. But maybe that's not as acceptable. Things like getting a little mini coloring book. There are little tiny ones on Amazon for about $1. And getting one of those and keeping it in your pocketbook, and whenever someone asks, being like, oh, my therapist recommended I color because it's calming. Like, just, that always works, by the way. Throwing that out there, the my therapist recommended blank because of blank, that always works. So that's always an excuse that you can have. Another thing is headphones. Headphones are a great friend. You can use your headphones to have one ear in, and it can be playing lullabies or children's songs or something like that. Or my favorite, my absolute favorite, it's kind of a twofer, but when people wear onesies or diapers under outfits, my little side and my dom side finds that adorable. But that's also very possible. You just gotta be careful about them diaper crinkles. Gotta be a little bit careful there. You don't want to sit down next to a boss or a supervisor and be like, that's not gonna go well. So just be a little bit careful there. But yeah, there's just small little things that you could do like that. I've even known a girl who once drew on her arm, and it was up on her shoulder area where her sleeve obscured it, and it said something like Daddy's Princess, and occasionally she would just lift her little sleeve up, she'd look at it and be like, yeah, you right, I am Daddy's Princess. I'm gonna go home today and I'm gonna cuddle Daddy. Yeah, you right. So that it's very, very possible to embrace your little space. I guess this video became a video about how do I embrace my little space and how can you do it too in all aspects of life. This video is going on 20 minutes, so if anyone didn't watch or listen till the end, that I can't blame you. I wouldn't listen to myself for 20 minutes either, but I guess in wrapping up, I have 3 Instagram pages, one of which is a dom page, one's a little page, one is more a fetish page for me, so if you don't want to follow that one, that's okay, that's understandable. If you do want to follow that one or even participate in that one, it's called Little Baby Dino Claws, and it is a feet appreciation page. The other ones are Little Baby Dino Dom and Little Baby Dino Boy, which is what this YouTube channel is named after. Like, comment, and subscribe Tell me any sort of improvements, disimprovements. Also, my voice cracked at the very end of the video. Peace, guys. Rawr.